Hey, everybody, welcome back to DC Junction. I'm Mike.
And this is Matthew.
We are doing something quick and fun as I suddenly remember I got to turn off my notifications from work on my work computer. But we are doing some quick predictions because at the time you guys are watching this, fan screenings for Superman start tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll be going to one. We'll have some out of theater reactions for that. If you saw our post on social media, if you haven't, follow us on social media. It's right above Matt's head, but I'm also going to put it down there. And also subscribe to the channel. But yeah, we're going to do some quick predictions for the movie, and then we'll come back a week from today and see how those predictions played out. We're going to try and keep this pretty quick. So Matt, I'm going to let you just go ahead and do yours first. I'm going to let you just run through yours.
Just plow through mine. All right.
Plow through them, buddy.
I'll plow through two because I'm still iffy on my third. The
Okay.
big one, which I think I said during our All-Star Superman reaction, is I think that big orb that's in the background when he's putting on his boots in the initial thing. We see it a couple times in the trailer. I think that's Solaris from All-Star Superman.
Okay.
It's that weird mini sun that's coming to destroy things. I think that's why there's darkness, why the metropolis is split, whatever that thing does. I think that's who that is, and he's part of like the impending doom that is about to arrive. So
I don't hate that idea.
Like that's ultimately the big thing, and I think why you see some of those conversations of should he, where it looks like Lois is talking to him before he goes to do something or whatever, is I think that at that point he may be at the point of like, what's it matter? If this is how you guys are going to treat me, why should I bother? So yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that part, but I do think for sure that orb is Solaris.
I like that theory. Yeah, you did mention that during our All-Star Superman reaction, and once you said that, I was like, oh, I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. What else you got?
The only other thing is the Ultraman thing. Like, I don't know if it's going to end. I mean, Ultraman is the guy that they call this, and the media is calling the guy in the black with the big U in his chest.
Well, and that's also what the toys have him labeled as.
Yeah.
So that's what James Gunn has referred to him as on social media. So that's what we're going with.
But in the comics, Ultraman is a Superman from a different world, from a different dimension. And he's an evil Superman. I'm going to go with the whole weird clone thing. I really think that's a clone of Superman. I don't know if you're going to get Bizarro out of this situation because I think he's going to end up having the whole thing, but who knows? But I think that's what it is. I don't think it's Ultraman interdimensional nonsense. I think it's just probably a clone of Superman.
Okay. All right. So you're holding off on your last one?
Just because I can't decide. I want to get you know what it is? It's that stupid hammer of whatever, the big armored suit that he fights. I know the rumor is that's Supergirl. I don't think that's Supergirl. I think that's another character.
I think it's Supergirl, and I didn't put that on my list because that's such a going rumor. I can't even really consider that a prediction anymore because it's like, no, there's a lot of evidence pointing to it that I get, and it's somebody else's thing that I latched onto and bought into.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those like, do I think it is her? Yes. If it's revealed to not be her, I won't care. Yeah. But also, if it's revealed to be her, I'm going to be like, yeah, saw that coming. But
yeah, I think that's if Ultraman is a clone and Supergirl is it. I think that's too much. You know what I mean? I think you've got too much of it. So I'm leaning more into the Ultraman guy is a clone, and that dude, that whatever that is, it's armor. I don't think it's Supergirl. There we go. There's mine.
I have a theory about that, but I want to talk about it off camera.
Okay.
But I will kind of ride the wave off of your Ultraman clone one. I actually think that this part of my prediction is that we're gonna get a tease for a version of Bizarro in this.
Okay.
And I think Ultraman is kind of the baby steps to that.
Okay.
Because James Gunn shared this post on Instagram of like Ultraman who looks like he has just been absolutely massacred by something or other. And I think that Ultraman is some semblance of like the you know how like in Avengers they brought up the idea of nuclear deterrent.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ultraman and by proxy the Hammer of Baravia might be like the world's nuclear deterrent, i.e. to Superman.
I see what
So I
you're
think
saying.
Ultraman is going to be like this clone of Superman that leads into some weird version of Bizarro.
Like there's a lot of clones of Superman out there that
and
he's going to have
and
to
that
battle in different
and that
ways.
will be like I'm just picturing like one of them developing weird and Lex Luthor looking at it and almost spiking the camera and going bizarre, and then
Yeah.
cut the black.
Okay, that's fair.
So that's
That's
one.
fair.
I also think, speaking of Lex, we're going to get some seeds planted for Lex running for president.
I can kind of see that.
It's such a major thing in DC Comics, especially in recent years, and also just from what we've seen in the trailers of Superman continuing to be this, the whole, you acted without without agency, people were gonna die, this whole idea of he's, like, so yeah, I think I can see, again, just also considering the metaphors we like to use Lex Luthor for nowadays, I can see
Yeah.
that being a thing. And then I also, lastly, I think we're going to get a Creature Commandos cameo other than Rick Flag Sr.
Okay.
I think we're either going to see like Weasel or, Bride of the Bride, or I think we're going to get just something from Creature Commandos other than Rick Flag Sr. in this movie. Nothing big, nothing major, just like it'll probably be Weasel.
I mean,
But
if it's gonna, it sounds weird to say it this way. I feel like if it's gonna be anybody, it's gonna be King Shark because James Gunn specifically said King Shark.
he did reference giant sharks, and if it's King Shark, I ain't gonna be mad about it. But yeah, I think we're going to get something. Yeah, I feel like if we're really playing, and if it ends up just being Rick Flag Sr., I mean that's okay. But I don't know. I feel like if we're playing with so much weirdness in this movie already, yeah, throw a CG Weasel sleeping in the corner of Rick Flag Sr.'s office or something that will satisfy me plenty. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Is that your two or is that three?
That's three. That's all three.
Okay.
That's all three of mine.
I'm gonna toss an audible at you. Who do you think the green baby is that he's holding?
Oh, I genuinely think that's nothing. Like I genuinely think that's just like some
Genetic thing. Yeah.
some just like thing. It's like an experiment thing, or I think it's gonna be like in the JJ Trek movies, that little alien sidekick that Scotty has that's just kind of there.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what it's going to end up being. I think it's just going to be one of those things that's like, oh, somebody had an idea for a character in this scene, and they were just like, screw it, why not?
Yeah. Well, the fact that it's green, part of you goes like, I wonder if it's like a Brainiac thing.
Brainiac or
no
Martian
telling.
Manhunter, because there's been like New Rockstars has like pulled all these, and even on social media from the Superman Instagram, there's been all kinds of teases that Martian Manhunter is out there / coming. So I mean, it could be the version of Brainiac from the future, from the Legion of Superheroes, Brainiac 5. Yeah, who's to say?
Yeah,
his name could be dead for all we know.
Yeah. Well, also I think about, like, again, he keeps, as much as I didn't like the story of All-Star Superman, the fact that he has cited it as a heavy influence, I think it's just the way he acts, the settings. So the idea of him having almost like I don't know if a refugee camp, but like tons of different things in his castle, his fortress that he's just protecting because they're the last ones or they can't survive on their own.
Right. His intergalactic zoo is not a new thing. You know what? I'm gonna throw that. I think we're gonna see some version of the intergalactic zoo in this.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's it, because if we're getting the Fortress of Solitude to this degree, and that is one of those, that's one of those things from the animated series that I really, really, really enjoyed.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think there's room for all of that. I think I like, but yeah, like the idea of him melding that into also like an like an intergalactic like refugee camp, like stopping point, halfway house, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's a neat
Yeah,
idea. I like that.
I think
Uh,
that'd be cool.
yeah, let us know down in the comments. Like, what are you guys? Are you seeing it tomorrow? When are you seeing it? Let us know, and you're appreciating. And then yeah, we'll be back next week to see how our predictions played out. We'll do out of theater reactions as soon as we get done seeing it. Our non-spoiler review will go up as soon as we can on Wednesday. Spoiler review will go up on Friday. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already as you're heading down there to leave us comments, and we will see you guys again next time here on DC Junction when we've seen Superman.
Woot woot. Bye bye.